Hey y'all, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I'm just going to give you a quick update of, I try to do both AeroGardens. So this is the AeroGarden harvest that has the pineapples growing. And I feel so bad. I just did a quick look to see when the last time was that I did an update, and it looks like it was October the 1st was the last time I gave y'all updated these, and it is now November the 5th. So I apologize, y'all. It's been so busy. I can't give any excuses, just the honest truth. I've just been busy. But as you can see, the arrow gardens have been growing. I've been refilling them. I don't have my reservoirs hooked back up yet. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. I come downstairs in the morning, I'll check these to see which ones are flashing. The pineapples don't really need to be refilled as much. As I've mentioned before, these are bromeliads. They really don't take up as much water. They really, as I always understood it, like to be watered from above, but pineapples are a type of bromeliad, not necessarily like the traditional one that likes to get the water from the cup in the center, but these do have root systems that will take up water from below. Let me say a disclaimer that I'm not a pineapple specialist, so I'm learning with these as I do them in the arrow garden. But I have noticed, like I mentioned, that these don't take up as much water as fast as my other plants. So with that being said, I don't refill them as much as the others. And I have noticed too that the root systems that have developed, I took it out earlier. Don't want to take it out again because it takes some effort to put it back in. But let's see if I can get this to show without too much. Are still really nice, really healthy. It may not look like it at this angle, but still really white. Here we go, some better light. Really white, really healthy, happy roots. And that's what we like to see doing this kind of hydroponic or aquaponic system. I always confuse those terms. But all that being said, I wanted to give you an update. So these are my pineapple white jades that I still have the tags for. Again, I ordered these off of Amazon. Nothing that was provided, nothing that was sponsored, just some that I ordered because I like them. I think it came in a set of 4 for $24. So I ordered them and they were very young. Again, I believe that these are ones that were grown from cultures. So when you look at the bases of them, apologize for the light, it's multiple that are growing there. And some folks will say that they kind of prune them out and kind of pick out the strongest one. I let them stay and let them have their own kind of Darwinism fight and let it be survival of the fittest, because what I have noticed is that sometimes I'm able to later on separate them and get multiple plants from that. Other times I've noticed that if I have an issue come up, like let's say I end up with fungus gnats or anything like that, it helps me to have multiple ones because there's usually one that's much stronger and it's able to survive whatever ailment the plant has, and then I can transfer it later on and not lose the entire plant. So I just leave it. And here are my yellow gold plants that I started before. So there are 2 that are here, but actually, like if you see here in the back, that's 2 in that one holder there. And then here, I think it may be 2 growing here too, or here as well. Saying 2 too many times. Yep, because if you look down here, there's 1 right here by my index finger. We'll go right here, and then there's 1 over here. We'll go right there. So there's 2 right here. But one thing that's always interesting to me to compare when I look at these younger ones, this is not just a darker green because it's a different type. It's also older, and you can see, if you look a little bit closer, some little like rough edges here. So this one has gotten older, and that happened kind of as it matured. It got more of that variation and a little bit of that rough edge there. This doesn't have that yet, but also as the fronds start to get older, I notice them getting thick and having more resistance to them. So that's always cool to watch. But that's how the pineapples are doing. I just slid the light up. So I tend to, even though these are not anything that I've grown from seeds, I try to follow the AeroGarden guidelines of keeping the light about 2 inches from the plant. So I'm going to lower this back down. I have to be careful with this particular garden because it's gotten a little loose. I've had it for a while and it will drop down if I'm not careful with it. But I wanted to show y'all. So this I've cleaned up because I was doing some pruning, cutting it back. If you've ever grown pineapples, you'll know that the leaves will die and get kind of nasty. So I wanted to show y'all a little bit of the background because all of this I still have to clean off even though I'm growing this in my AeroGarden. And this is just like dead leaves, decaying material, all that junk. I clean that off. So a lot of times when I've shown you these before and I'll say, it's gunk, it's whatever, you really have to manage your AeroGardens here. You can't just let this sit. You have to come in, you have to wipe off this buildup, you have to wipe off this mineral deposits that'll come between the plant dropping different things, between condensation, like a condensation of when you add in your nutrients. So I still use the Miracle Grow nutrient that came with the AeroGardens for this. So you just want to make sure you clean this up and also keep the plant managed, because if you know anything about fungus gnats and other different pests that can affect your plants, they feed off of decaying material. So you want to get all that cleaned up and cleared away. So just letting you know, the real deal. All of that had to come off. So I'm going to clean this up, clear off the counter. And that's how the pineapples are doing. So that's a part of the process of keeping everything growing. And then we can see here we got some nice new little fronds that are coming out. And the other gardens, I'm going to be moving around and putting them in new locations. But I just wanted to let y'all see what's going on with this pineapple garden. I mean, it's kind of impressive now that I stand back from it a little bit. I'm always doing so much and trying to get stuff settled in the house. But literally, it's almost kind of the size of my hand. Well, that's wild. And if you look at that, that one is almost like longer than my finger. It's crazy. And if we look here, over 160 days, it's been growing. But as always, just want to give y'all an update again. Sorry for the delay. If you were interested in seeing how the pineapples were doing, they're still growing. I have one that I've moved outside, and compared to this, it is so much smaller. I think it's not even the size of these small jade ones. So definitely growing it in the AeroGarden has made a difference. I'll share this in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, where I shared where I was growing this. Y'all, if y'all have grown any of these, let me know how yours are doing in the AeroGarden. Have you tried growing any of these pineapples or tried growing anything like this in an AeroGarden? Let me know in the comments. If you have any tips or pointers for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you have any questions, anything I could help you with, please do feel free to ask and I'll help as best I can. As always, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I do believe God has given us all gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. And while we can't fix everything, I do believe that we can all fix something. So until next time, I pray that you would find that thing and fix it. Thanks for watching.